me, Meanie Mosey. I just got back from my very first DreamCon. I gotta tell y'all, it is as lit as it looks. Like, it was fantastic, honestly. I definitely would like to go again. Being a new convention, there were some problems, of course.
I've been hungry for like 2 hours.
I got in line an hour early. I RSVP'd for this event, and I am not able to attend this event. We're just gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about my experience at DreamCon, some challenges that I faced when planning my trip and everything, and I'm gonna give you guys some tips so that if you wanna go next year, then this can be you as well. So we are heading to where?
DreamCon.
DreamCon! DreamCon is an anime, gaming, and content creation convention put on by the content creator group RDC World. Since RDC World is black, it is a predominantly black convention, but you got everybody there. This was one of the most fun conventions I've been to. This one is different in that it's a convention with some Tony Satcheries on it. Like, you had a breakdancing competition, you had anime Wild and Out, and so some context for who I am. My sister and I, we are anime nerds for sure. We don't follow a lot of the content creator groups that were there. We don't game. The only games that we play are like Mario Kart, Super Smash Bros, Stardew Valley, Animal Crossing, Sims 4. And also, we don't party or anything. We didn't go to any of the after parties. We just go back to the hotel room, go to sleep. And that's kind of who we are, and we enjoyed the convention still. So if you're an introvert, if you're a little bit of an Oreo, if you don't game, if you only watch anime, then this is the DreamCon review for you. So let's get into the first day of DreamCon. We left Houston to go on a road trip to Austin, which is only like 2.5 hours away. At first we were stopping at Buc-ee's because, you know, it ain't no road trip if you don't go to Buc-ee's. Buc-ee's Hall. Yay!
I got my favorite bacon, egg, and cheese breakfast taco, some fruit,
Cantaloupe,
classic brown sugar cinnamon Pop-Tarts,
the only Pop-Tart flavor,
and some apple juice.
Japple goose.
So I can quench my thirst.
I got this cold brew mocha coffee. So we're gonna see how that tastes.
Thumbs on the camera.
So, I know. Some watermelon, a bacon, egg, and cheese taco, and some beaver tots. Because if you don't go to Buc-ee's and get beaver tots, did you even go to Buc-ee's? It's raining a little bit.
Rain was on the forecast for today.
This isn't very like road trip aesthetic. I'm gonna say this with all the kindness in the world. Go with people who you can travel and experience stressful things with. It's just like there are a lot of moving parts to this convention. They are still working out the kinks when it comes to registration, RSVPs, buying passes, all of that. So if you are in a group with someone and you know that they're gonna freak out if something goes wrong, or you know that you're the type of person to wake up early and get to things on time and they're not, I would say go with who you would be able to do the convention the way you want to with. It's quite a bit of money and it's a very fun experience. There's a lot to do and you don't want to miss things. You might miss things even if you do have things planned out, which I'll get to later, but you don't want the people that you're with to be the reason why you miss out on anything in this convention. Okay, we're about 50 minutes out from the hotel, and so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go and we're gonna see if there is early check-in available. Hopefully it is. Please, Lord Jesus, let there be early check-in.
Yeah.
If we got early check-in, then we would be able to check into the hotel, go to registration, and then go to the convention on Friday. And if we didn't get early check-in, then check-in would start at 3. So we would have to go park somewhere, go registration, go to the convention that opened up at noon, leave sometime around 3 p.m. to go check into the hotel, get settled in the hotel, go back to the convention, and all of that. If you plan to go, do the early registration on Thursday. I saw like Thursday as an option for early registration. I just kind of blew it off because normally I think of Friday as like a poo-poo throwaway convention day where it's like you don't really do much on the Friday of a convention. That's wrong. At DreamCon, Friday is a full day. I think Friday was actually my favorite day at DreamCon. You got stuff to do. You got events starting on day one. Normally it's just the Saturday and Sunday, but the Friday is packed too. So, step one, go to early registration. So what are you most excited about for DreamCon?
I don't know. I'm just obviously I still consider myself new to anime. Like, I watch enough shows that I can say that I watch anime, but this is a whole new level of convention that I've never been to before. Not even for Marvel or anything else superhero related, so I don't know. I'm looking forward to just seeing everyone, I guess, and participating in the culture. What are you looking forward to?
I guess I'm looking forward to kind of like learning more about, because it's like anime gaming and like content creation also, so I'm interested in learning more about content creation from professionals, and also kind of getting, I guess, like re-inspired or re-motivated to make videos and stuff, because I haven't put anything out since we moved back to parents' house. Yeah. We got to the hotel around like 11ish. Thankfully, there was early check-in available. It was really great because you could see already people lined up in their costumes and everything. The hotel lobby was full of like black people in like anime outfits and everything. It was just so great to see, because it's like they're just like me. They're just like me for real, for real. And then after that, we got in line for registration, and that is tip number 3 for DreamCon. Be prepared to get to things early, like very early. Otherwise, it's going to be a very long wait. Currently, in the Austin Convention Center, I would say that DreamCon is growing very big for that convention center. Therefore, there are very long lines to pretty much everything that you'd want to do. Even if you do have a Premier Pass, not all the lines have Premier Pass lines. Just be early to everything. Ain't no CP time here. Just be early, like, because otherwise you could miss out on things. In the line to the convention center, Sydney's naming all of the anime shows that she watches.
Yeah, so I think I've got Fire Force, Death Note, One Piece, My Hero
You saw
Academia.
like 2 episodes of Death Note.
Okay, well, there's a lot of these. One Piece is our main focus right now. We've taken a break from a lot of the other shows because One Piece just is up here. So, there's One Piece, My Hero, Fire Force, Death Note. Oh gosh. Haikyuu, yes. Blue Lock. The basketball anime is on my list. We'll get to that one eventually. I don't even know what it's called.
Kuroko no Basket.
Okay, that. I think that's all I can come up with right now. But I'm pretty proud. This is someone who didn't watch anything just 3 years ago.
And now look where we are.
Yeah.
After we got in the convention, it was really easy to register. We had a Premier Pass line. We just went right through. We had these YouTube Lounge wristbands that we got so that we could go into the YouTube Lounge. The first thing that we did was we went into the exhibit hall. So we just went, we looked around, we didn't buy anything on the first day. We didn't buy anything until we passed go, if anybody plays Monopoly like that. We saw they had like some food places in there and everything. That's important for later. But we just walked around, we just looked, and then we left, because we just wanted to see what else was going on at the convention. We went to the YouTube Lounge. We got these little YouTube gaming bears that were in a little claw machine. It was actually pretty easy and fun to get them. They were like blaring music there the whole time.
So put it all the way up, and then you gotta grab the teddy bear.
Very graceful.
Yeah. There you go.
I'll get those now.
Okay, there we go. There you go. Thank you.
That is another tip. If you plan to go to DreamCon, follow them on social media. Put the notifications on for everything that they post. I followed their Instagram account. I put notifications on. I saw whenever they made a post. I saw whenever they made a story. And it was because of that that I was able to keep up with the news for how registration was going to work, how RSVPing for different events was going to work. It was an intricate system, and like it wasn't the easiest system to follow, because like you had to go onto their website and then you had to wait, and then once you waited for a specific drop time for like the tickets for the RSVP for whatever you wanted, then you waited in a line queue, kind of like Ticketmaster and Taylor Swift and everything like that. I went onto their website to see how to upgrade to a premium pass, and it had like a 15-20 step guideline for like how to upgrade to a premium pass. It's like you're gonna go and you're gonna log in, you're gonna buy a voucher, you're gonna buy the voucher, you're gonna get an email code for the voucher, you're gonna go and you're gonna knock on a door, and there's gonna be a leprechaun that peers up. He's gonna be like bleh, and then you're gonna be like bleh, and then you have to like enter in the voucher and tell the leprechaun your password, and that's how you get a premium pass. I wouldn't have known that if I hadn't followed them on social media. Like, you know how the algorithm works. It'll only show you kind of things that you've been looking at, and if you're not like stalking DreamCon, then you're gonna miss out on a lot of things. So make sure you turn the notifications on, make sure you follow the social media account, Instagram, Twitter. Stay updated, stay informed if you want to know every single way to get to whatever you want to do at DreamCon. Like it told you when it updated schedules in the app to tell you what events were going on. And then side note for this, it's like, if you don't download the app, if you don't pre-plan your schedule, if you don't put those scheduled dates and times in an external calendar, like Notion or like Gmail calendar or even like Apple Calendar or something, like if you're not like tracking every single thing, then you are going to miss out on a lot of things that are happening in DreamCon, because you're going to walk up to rooms, you're going to be like, oh, what's going on in here? And you're not going to know. Like, it's a Disney sing-along. Do you want to go to a Disney sing-along? Well, you should have put that on your calendar, because I heard it was a lot of fun. So, yeah, if you're not tracking everything, if you're not staying up to date on everything that has to go on with DreamCon throughout the year leading up to it, then you're going to miss out probably on a lot of awesome opportunities, and you won't maximize your time at the convention. Sorry about you. If you want to go to this convention, you got to commit. It's a part-time job darn near, but it's worth it. It's a lot of fun. Okay, so after a minute of looking, we got some food.
Just a minute.
Several minutes. But it's like from cilantro.
Yeah.
And so it's like a Korean barbecue inspired rice bowl type thing. So yeah, we're outside of the Dream Stage, where the next event's going to be all the craft of creation, talking about like making content, I guess. I don't know. And I was worried because I wanted to meet Keats, a content creator that's going to be here, and his meet and greet is at 4. And this workshop was at 4:30, and like based on how long the line was to get into the opening ceremony, and I was like thinking, we're not gonna have time to meet him and then go to the craft of creation on time. Except on our way up here on the escalator, we were riding up, and he was standing right behind us. So thanks to Sydney, she turned around and she wasn't intimidated, so she said hi and everything, and we just had a little conversation with him before all of that. So now we're just eating and waiting for the next thing. You have any comment? Oh, she's chowing down.
I've been hungry for like 2 hours, so I'm just happy we got food, and I was starting to get a little hangry, so
I think we're both a little hangry for a second.
Yeah.
It's like I was trying to find it. She was just like, let's just get something. And I was just like, they said they were going to have things, and we don't know where they are.
Yeah.
And it was like, but yeah. So.
You know, all is right in the world.
All is right. So we hadn't eaten since we got Buc-ee's in the morning with our little bacon, egg, and cheese burritos and the fruit. And so we had been running around the whole day. We checked into the hotel. We went to registration. We went to the convention. We were walking around. We went to the craft of creation. We were walking around. We got hungry. We got very hungry. And I thought I had researched enough to know that DreamCon was having a block party or something. They're going to have food trucks or something out there. Turns out, I looked it up later that night, the food trucks and stuff, that was like ways away from DreamCon. It wasn't anywhere close. It's unlike the Houston Comic Palooza that I went to, where they had food trucks lined up outside. No, there was none of that. The only food that was at the convention was in the exhibit hall that we saw earlier. So they had like a sweet tea wings place, they had a jerk chicken place, they had a taco place, and then they had this place called Cilantro, which had Korean barbecue inspired rice bowls. Out of those 4 places, Cilantro was like the only good place. And you could tell because like black people, they won't eat at places that don't taste good. And the line for Cilantro was like overflowing out of the little fences that they put up. And then the other lines, they were just straight up empty. People were like eating the other food in line for Cilantro because they're like, it's all right. And it's like, that's not what I want to hear for something that costs like $14, $15. Like, I want good food. Other than the food that was in the exhibit hall, they had vending machines, and that's it. And you could not bring outside food or drink inside unless you had a medical condition. So yeah, there's not that much food there. There was also a kiosk that had like pretzels and popcorn and like little sandwiches, candy and all that, drinks and everything. They had several little stations around DreamCon that served like these alcoholic cocktails. Like there was alcohol, there was snacks, and then in the exhibit hall there was food, there were snacks in the vending machines, and that's about all there was. They did give you a $20 Postmates credit. I don't use Postmates. I don't know, and you wouldn't have known that you had a $20 Postmates credit if you didn't check your email also. So there's that. But food, I don't know what to tell you. That's on DreamCon to plan to have more food because, like, you can't bring food in there. So, like, what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to leave the convention and go get food somewhere else? Not when there's, like, stuff back to back to back and you have to be in lines for everything. Oh, okay. So we went to the Craft of Creation panel with some content creators I didn't know. Taylor Senpai, Joanne and Jazzy, and Jalan, and they gave some like really, really great advice on being a content creator, like kind of like the big moments that define their careers, like the whole jump from like working a actual adult job into going into content creation, what that felt like. And so I think it gave me I heard a lot of things that I needed to hear during that.
Same. Yeah, both of us have kind of been on a little hiatus from posting and creating. Oh, jeez. Okay.
No, it's fine.
Anyway, we're using the teddy bears that we got earlier today to prop this phone up, so.
Very useful.
Yeah.
YouTube gaming teddy bears.
Yeah. But yeah, both of us have been taking a little bit of a break for various reasons. I know I just graduated in May with my master's degree, and so for the past 3 years I've been a part-time student while working full-time, and so that was a lot to juggle. And I was also podcasting during that time, so since finishing school in May, and then I went to Europe for 2 weeks and then came back and was getting into the swing of things. Just from May to now, I've just been like, I just needed to decompress, and now I've just recorded another episode, and I'm going to release it next week. So
yeah, it feels like we were able to do more when we had less time, ironically.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. They were saying like, it's okay to take a break from content creation if that's what you need to do. And then also, like, don't feel guilty for taking a break because you're a human, and trust that your audience is going to be there for you and they're not just going to abandon you because you took a break for a minute. Okay, so we're just going to chill here. The next thing we have coming up is a dodgeball game, which has been very hyped up. But we're gonna chill in the deluxe premium lounge
with our
premium badges. And so we're just gonna chill for a second and rest our feet and butts before we go to that dodgeball game. And that was a lot of fun. It was a whole stadium style setup and everything. It was very official. You had these 2 announcers. They were hilarious. It was just hilarious how official it was, them narrating announcing over a dodgeball game. The coaches were funny. The players are great.
There's no easy feat, but 4 in a row into the dark lights of DreamCon would finally fulfill the Hoodbender prophecy. It's Olympic season and the instigating gold medalists are in the building. Y'all can't handle the tsunami. Give it up for your hosts, the back-to-back dodgeball champions, the one, the only, RDC! 2024 starts right now. Let's go!
And yeah, that was a lot of fun. And after that, we went to it was a producer beat battle where these people were pairing up anime samples against other anime samples and kind of seeing which producer made the best beat. Sydney and I, we watched like One Piece, mainly, My Hero Academia, Haikyuu. I know more songs than she does. We didn't know a lot of the songs that they were playing, but then again, the beats also, they were not that hard. There was one beat that we heard that was really good. And then we got to the point where, like, okay, if this next beat does not get me up out of my seat, we're going back to the hotel and we're going to sleep. And that's exactly what we did. Ooh, bars. So yeah, that was the end of day one. Day two, we went to a restaurant called Paperboy in the morning. There was an IHOP right by the hotel. We checked the reviews on the IHOP, got 2 stars. So we went to Paperboy.
Oh, perfect. It's like they know people need to park or something.
Paking for Parker Boy.
No.
Paking for Parker Boy. Paperboy was so cute and it was so Austin. And it felt so like old-fashioned, old-timey, and it was pretty darn good, and it was pretty darn expensive. So that's like, we woke up early enough to like leave our hotel in the morning, go get brunch, and then go get in line and be one of the first people in the priority line for the entry into the convention at 10 a.m. because we just wake up early like that. That's just who we are. But now we're about to go to the convention. The weather is cool for Texas.
Yeah,
Any other
nice
place,
breeze right now.
Any other place, this would be like midday temperature, but
yeah.
Here, this is what you get in the morning. Yeah. So we're good with it. But yeah. All right, we'll see you in the convention center.
Yep.
We spent an hour in the exhibit hall. In that morning, we actually did some shopping this time. I got 2 prints. They are very nice. They are up in my room right now. And then the first thing that we had after that was the Hot Pot breakdance competition. Y'all. Y'all. Y'all, oh my gosh. That was, like, I'd never seen, like, actual breakdancing before, but these people are so cool. It made me want to breakdance, and, yo, if I breakdance, I'm gonna break something, and it ain't gonna be dance. And so they had their final, like, they had, I guess, a semifinalist and a finalist breakdance competition. That was awesome to see. They had a dance-off competition for a t-shirt. That was pretty great. Seeing M'Baku breakdance was pretty great. She got down. Luigi had some Luigi moves. And it was a lot of fun. And it was so much fun that they started probably like a good 30 minutes, hour late or so, because they were having some technical difficulties putting up their breakdancing stage. So that was fine. They had some jams playing like while we were waiting and everything, so we're good. But we were actually late for the next event that we planned, which was how to balance a full-time career and being a content creator slash cosplayer, which I really wish I could have seen, but it is what it is. Here I am still doing it, so like, comment, subscribe. But anyway, that gave us time to get lunch, which we got cilantro again because that was the only option. Smile for lunch. Smile. The next thing that we went to was also very fun, but it was kind of something that, like, it was a plan B on our list. Another tip, make sure you have plan A's, plan B's, plan C's, plan D's. Just, plan D's nuts. But just make sure that you have backup plans upon backup plans for anything, because you just got to roll with it sometimes. You're going to be in line for an event. That event's going to be full. You got to go to something else. Just plan for it. Just look, there's a lot of stuff to do. Make a list. If there's something you remotely want to do, but it's on top of something else that you also want to do, put them both on your schedule anyway. Because, like, you might miss one of them. Like, you're going to miss one of them, logically. You cannot be in two places at the same time. But if you don't make it into one and then you're like, oh crap, what was that other one? You need to have that on there so that you can do a quick shift and make it to the second event before that one fills up too. So the event that we went to was a backup plan. It was called Pass, Mid, Fail. And it was talking about different anime shows and everything, like the newest season of anime. And it was going through shows like Frieren, like Windbreaker, Mashal, and we were deciding which ones are pass, which ones pass, like 100 or whatever, which ones are mid, and which ones fail. And that was a lot of fun. I'd never been in a room with people debating like that, and everything, and I was honestly ready to get up and say whatever the heck about One Piece, but like that session was only an hour, and it was like way too short, and it was a lot of fun while I was in there. But that was put on by Black Girls Anime, and that was a lot of fun. So I definitely put that on my list to go again. Just being with fans in a room debating, and everyone agreed Frieren was like 100% pass. Like, no, like the girl, she was dressed as Frieren, and she debated Frieren, and she did an awesome job about it, and everybody was like, yes, very good. We very much agree that Frieren is amazing. Okay, this is where the drama kind of starts. This is where kind of like the disillusionment with DreamCon begins, because here's the timeline. After we missed the 9 to 5, after we missed the how to balance being a content creator and a full-time job, our backup plan was to go to the Pass, Mid, Fail. We went to that. That was a lot of fun. After that was the Women at DreamCon mixer that was held in the YouTube lounge. We went there. We waited in line. There was a whole thing. It's like, oh, you had to RSVP. You had to be a member of Black Girls Anime. You're going to get in there first, except nowhere did they indicate that. But anyway, we waited in line, and we got in. They had a fun little game show type thing there. We were kind of just chilling, waiting for basketball. Little did we know, underneath us on the first floor of the convention center, the basketball line was already forming, probably well before 5 p.m. also. So we left the mixer at like 6, because we were like, we should probably get in line for basketball an hour early. We go downstairs, we get in line for basketball an hour early. The line is already wrapped, like all the way down, all the way around the door. And we get in the back of the line. It's nothing like the dodgeball line. Like, I feel like we didn't get in the dodgeball line too early, but I don't know. And maybe I even say this better in my little rant that I recorded. Actually, I'm gonna let me tell you. I'm gonna let Mad Me tell you about this basketball game. We had fun. We had fun today. I'm happy we went to the convention. I'm glad about all of that. But the things that we were supposed to go to tonight were the basketball game, and then after that we were going to go to Anime Wild and Out. And so the thing is, the basketball game was a premiere event. So that meant that you had to go online prior to the convention and RSVP. And they're only letting a limited amount of people in the basketball game. And so it was it was a drop. So you had to sit in a queue. You had to wait right at 7 p.m. You had to go, and then you had to sign up, and then you got a thing that said, confirmed, you're going to attend the basketball game. And so for all the other RSVP events that we went to, like the dodgeball game, and there was a craft of creation workshop, we got in line, and they scanned our QR codes, and we got in because we RSVP'd. For the basketball game, we knew it was going to be different as soon as we got in. So we went to this mixer at 5 p.m. The basketball game doesn't start until 7. So we went to a mixer at 5. And we were there, and then it was kind of getting around 6, an hour before the basketball game. And we thought, okay, so we better go and line up because we know these lines get kind of crazy. And so we go down the escalator to go to the basketball game line, and it is down the convention center all the way around the corner. You had to walk a long time. You ask people in line, is this the line for the basketball game? They're like, yes. And you're like, dang. So we walked all the way to the back of the line, and we were kind of thinking well, this is an RSVP event, and we RSVP'd, so as long as we RSVP'd and we're in line, we should be good. I don't know how all these people are gonna fit in that little stadium thing, but they're gonna have to tell the people who didn't RSVP to go, because this is probably mainly people who didn't RSVP. And so we're waiting in line, we were talking and making friends while we're in line and everything. And the time for the basketball game is getting closer and closer. We lined up at 6 p.m. It's getting closer to 7. We've been standing for 30 minutes, 45 minutes. And then finally 7 approaches. We're still in line. We're still on the long way of the corner that's around the corner from the basketball game stadium, if that makes sense. The basketball game stadium is right here. We're down there around the corner. We're in the back of the line. We're the back of the line is way further than we are, but we are still in a portion of the back of the line, and we are nowhere close to getting in the stadium, and it is 7 p.m. and the basketball game should be starting. So they live stream the basketball game on YouTube, and so I pulled up their YouTube account and I checked the live stream. It looks full in there. It is completely full. They are beginning to start playing. They're announcing the players who are going to be playing for the basketball game and everything. The game is starting, and we RSVP'd, and we are in the back of the line. And at this point, it's kind of well, how could they be full in there when I RSVP'd and I'm not in there? I don't understand. I got, not to sound bougie, frou-frou or anything, but I got a premium pass. I got in line an hour early. I RSVP'd for this event, and I am not able to attend this event. Is that what you're telling me? But the thing is, they didn't tell us anything. We walked to the front and we looked. Nobody's telling anybody anything. The front of the people in line know as much the people in the back of the line know, which is nothing. And so we're just the game's starting. And that it's I don't know what you're waiting for, because it's starting, it's going on right now, and you're not in there, and I don't think you're going to get in there because it looks full in there. And so we just cut our losses. At first we were waiting out of spite a little bit. We're okay, somebody better come tell us what's going on, because I'm in line. I know you're gonna tell me I can't get in there, but I want you to tell me to my face that I can't get in there. We just decided to cut our losses and go to the Anime Wild and Out. event just because it started at 8 and it was already like probably like 7:15 or something. You're just like, whatever, like just screw it. Like, we're gonna have a good night tonight anyway. And we still are, but like, yeah, we're not going to the basketball game. So we go up these upstairs, and there's a long line. We don't know what it's for. We go up, we ask, hey, what's this line for? It's Anime Wild and Out. Okay. And this is the same room that we were in earlier, for the pass mid fail anime thing. And that's like it's not a small room, but it's definitely smaller than most rooms. And so that goes like all the way down, all the way around the corner. So we get to the back of that line, and like the whole time that we're in there, it's like, what's this sign for? Anime Wild and Out. It is? Oh, damn. And they like literally like everybody's like wondering like what's the sign for, and then they realize it's the thing that they're trying to get into. And so I don't really fault Anime Wild and Out because this one wasn't a RSVP event. It was, I guess, essentially it's first come, first serve, except like it should just be like a non-registered event, except there are so many people at this convention that want to go to things that these non-RSVP events become first come, first serve. And I guess even the RSVP events become first come, first serve if you're not checking for RSVPs, which they probably didn't do because I RSVP'd and I didn't get in there. And so eventually Anime Wild and Out gets full, and they at least tell the line, hey, y'all can't, like, the room's at capacity, it's a fire hazard, y'all can't get in there. And so there's that. And so they just told us that the Anime Wild and Out thing is like booked, and this is after we got in line an hour early for the basketball game and didn't make it in. So it's kind of funny, actually. I'm incredulous. But
it's like the laughing in disbelief right now that both of the events that we had to bookend our day, just we couldn't get
fell
into
apart.
them.
Hold on, look, I'm gonna turn around. Like, these are all the people that were also waiting, and like some of these people came from the basketball game like us too, and so it's just like now it's like there's nothing really left to do.
Yeah.
Like, there's no other events I'm interested in, so
I guess we're going back to the hotel.
Figure it out. You want to watch a show or something?
Oh, maybe.
Yeah. Hey. Like, we're back at the hotel now. So we're probably gonna order some food. We're probably gonna watch a show or two or something, and it's gonna be a good night. We're gonna have fun. But the thing is, I'm just thinking, like, tomorrow is like we have the big event. I think the big event tomorrow is going to be the Berlizzi Family Feud, and that one has been promoted on the DreamCon website to promote DreamCon as a whole. It's hilarious, apparently. A lot of people have been talking about it. I feel like that line is going to be the same, if not worse, than basketball tonight, because it's one of the only things that's going on tomorrow because it's Sunday and the convention is wrapping up. And so I'm thinking, convention opens at 10, Berlizzi Family Feud is at 1. I'm thinking we need to get in line at 10 or something like that, because for these events, they don't have a premium line. And that's like the one thing for like basketball, they didn't have a premium line. For Wild and Out, they didn't have a premium line. And so I'm thinking that we're gonna have to get in line for Berlizzi at like 10, 11 or something for an event that starts at 1, if we want to get in at all, if they're not even going to be checking for RSVPs, which kind of sucks because there is a One Piece cosplay meetup at noon. And I got a Robin outfit from Amazon that I'm going to be in tomorrow. And I wanted to meet other One Piece fans and hand them out my business card for my YouTube channel and get to know them and network like you're supposed to do at DreamCon. But I don't think I'm going to be able to do that because I think I'm going to need to be in line for my event at 1, an hour early. So it's just, this is like, literally, like, the convention's been awesome. I've met some really cool people. it's just this part was kind of unorganized. It was like disappointment after disappointment today. Because like, I mean, the first one, we missed the how to manage being a content creator and having a full-time job because we stayed a little bit late at the breakdance competition. That's on us. We got lunch. We're good. But for the other one, it's like I spent time RSVPing after work. I rushed home. I got my laptop and my iPad out. I waited in 2 queues. I made sure that I signed up for the event on time for both badges. And then it's like, okay, no, that's not enough. So that's just kind of what I'm thinking. Um, Apparently, it's way better than last year, which is good. But it still needs improvement if things like this are going to happen. I've heard they're going to move convention centers. I've heard it's grown very fast. Like a couple years ago, it has grown extremely rapidly. So maybe they need a bigger convention center. Maybe I don't know. A lot of the programming was on top of each other for like events that you want to go to. You have to pick one, and then like you pick one like you don't get in, you have to go see the other one. Oh no, the other one's at capacity. Um, Stuff like that. Again, I'm not mad. In a couple hours, I'm not gonna be mad, but it's like I know I'm the type of person to kind of let things slide. So if I didn't record this video now, then I wouldn't get across like my current emotions. Because I'm gonna be happy. I'm gonna be happy tonight. I'm gonna be fine. Like I'm gonna be good tomorrow. I'm gonna wake up tomorrow morning and be like I had an awesome. I'm gonna go home on Sunday and be like I had an awesome time at the convention. But I like I if I don't record this now, then I will not convey like my disappointment at all, like even remotely as well as much disappointment as I'm feeling right now. So even talking through it, I'm kind of like, no, like it is what it is. Like it is what it is. Why did I say that? It's just it is what it is at this point. I'm not mad. But we're gonna get in that family feud tomorrow. I'm gonna be just like Robin. I'm gonna see some other One Piece people probably in line for Family Feud. Maybe. I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna be able to make it to the cosplay meetup. But I have fun. I'll come back next year. Probably definitely gonna come back next year because it's a lot of fun. Being around this many black people is really cool. Seeing everybody's outfits is really cool. Why am I acting like this video is over? Well, this recording is over at least. All right, bye, y'all. The next day, day 3, the last day of the convention. All right, so here's the fit today. Oh gosh, you can't see. Okay. I'll post pictures. We wake up, we have to check out of the hotel. We didn't plan for this, which I probably should have thought of beforehand. But I was thinking, okay, we can check out later. But no, it's like we got to check out now so that once we leave the convention, we can leave Austin. And so we got up in the morning, we checked out of the hotel, we parked at the Austin Convention Center. We went to a restaurant nearby called Moonshine Bar or something, I don't know. They were open for Sunday brunch at 9 a.m. Tasty, very delicious. That Moonshine Grill place, oh my gosh. They had a breakfast buffet. They had all your favorites. They had pancakes, they had chicken and waffles, they had hash brown hash, they had sausage, they had bacon and all that kinds of stuff. All of it was so good. Reasonably priced for a buffet. You kidding me? With delicious food. And we got in when they opened. We ate our food. We got out. We were one of the first people in line for the premium priority line to get into the convention because that's just how we do. After the whole basketball debacle, we got into the convention and we were like, okay, we have Family Feud today, and then we have the closing ceremony. we're going to make it in there. Because, like, the whole thing was, like, it was an RSVP'd event. And so we were like, okay, if RSVPs don't freaking matter anymore, we got to make sure we're in line early. And so we got in line at 10 a.m. for an event that started at 1 p.m. The thing is, you'll see in the highlight reels, you'll see all the games, the basketball game, the dodgeball game, the Family Feud, the Jeopardy, Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? All those are premium or premier events. I don't know. You had to RSVP for them. You had to get in line, and then once you got in there, you had to scan a QR code to get in there. Technically, logically speaking, like if everything worked out, that's how it would have worked out. But it didn't work out because people got in who didn't RSVP. But that's beside the point. You had to RSVP for those premier events. Those events are overhyped, I would say. That's just from my perspective. As someone who is not like a super follower of these creators, as someone who just likes anime and not gaming, anime and content creation, that's pretty much it, who doesn't really follow those content creators, I'd say they're overhyped unless it's like the craft of creation, like a workshop that's going to teach you something from industry professionals. Then I would say maybe if there's something else you want to do that is overlapped by a premiere event, go do the thing that you want to do. Like, know yourself, know what you like to do. Because I was in line for Family Feud, and I had to be in line for Family Feud at noon when the One Piece meetup happened. And so I missed the One Piece meetup, and that was very lit, I fear. But it's kind of like the smaller, more intimate events where you got to know the people around you. You got to be in the environment with other fans and other convention goers. Those were the events that I really remembered. The breakdancing competition, the pass, mid, fail, all of that. Like, I wish I would have gone to more events in smaller rooms, because those larger events, the Family Feud, the dodgeball, you're around a whole bunch of people. And if you're an introvert, you can only say nice costume so many times. So that's the last tip that I have. I'm going to toss some out. Have a spending plan. Start budgeting. It's never too early to start budgeting. There's an app called You Need a Budget. This is not sponsored, but you could not pay me to stop talking about You Need a Budget, YNAB. And then I'm going to keep talking about it until they do pay me to talk about it. YNAB is the greatest budgeting app that I've ever had in my life. It's the only one that my tiny no math brain can understand. That will help you budget for this trip. It's never too early to budget. Prioritize comfort. I know you want to look cute. I know you want to look cool. It's a big convention center. You got to walk around a lot. I was robbing with some Air Force Ones. Like, I'm not going in heels. There were some people in heels like everywhere, and I'm just like, how are you living? What are your ankles telling you right now? They must hate you. Prioritize comfort. If you're not comfortable, you're not cute. That's just how it is. Have fun anyway. The last thing, have fun anyway. This is a fun convention. This is one of the only predominantly black anime conventions. And if you know anything about black people in the anime community, you know that sometimes people don't like it when we dress up as characters because the characters aren't black. It is what it is. But I would say have fun anyway. If you're in line for a long time, talk to the people in line. There are some cool people there. This is like, sure, it's a younger convention. Sure, they still got problems. Sure, you can't get into every single event. But this is also one of the only conventions where, like, once you don't get in an event and the line starts dispersing, someone starts breaking into, "We fall down, but we get up." And if you're not black, you won't understand. So it was awesome. It was awesome. I'll go next year. I don't know how many years I'm gonna have to go before I start going as a creator, but hopefully that's within the next few years or so if I just keep sticking at this. Um, but yeah, DreamCon was fun. I just got off work. My battery has like 3 minutes left in it, my SD card. So we're gonna just go edit this video and put it online. All right, I've been Meanie Mosey. Let me know in the comments if this helped you. If you have any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye-bye. I forgot to mention for the end of the trip, we just left the convention right after Family Feud. We didn't go to the closing ceremony, and that was because we went to the opening ceremony, and it was literally like 15 minutes of them saying, "Hey, welcome to DreamCon. Thank you for coming. Bye." And like it was very underwhelming, so we didn't go to the closing ceremony. We saw clips online afterwards, and it would have been fun to go, but just on our judgment at the time, we decided to skip it and go home. We'd rather have gotten home earlier. um, and yeah, so that was the end of the convention. They just announced that it's going to be in Houston next year. Yeah, so that's going to be fun. That'll be a lot easier for me. But yeah, everybody can come see how great Houston is and some of the awesome food places that we have here. And one last tip for the cool people who are staying until the very end of the video: if you're a content creator of any kind, or if you have, if you have like podcast, YouTube channel, anything, if you make art or something, I would get some business cards and have them ready to pass out at DreamCon, because you can talk about your stuff. It's so easy if you can just hand someone a little card with a QR code on it, rather than typing in your channel name into their YouTube and then they might use it or something. I don't know. Get some business cards, or like print out a QR code, tape it on your badge or something like that. Um, but just an easy way to tell people about what you do and who you are. And I would say get some really nice business cards, some that are like too nice to throw away. I got mine from Moo, like the cow, and they have some really good business cards there. This is not sponsored, they just have good business cards. Okay, but that's about it. And I will catch you guys in the next video. And I already said that, but I hope you have a great day because you're a super awesome person. And I love you. Bye.